In this episode of DIY Explorer, we're going to do another unboxing and first impressions of another giant tool.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
This is the Ridgid 15 amp motor 10-inch blade dual bevel miter saw. Its weight is about 153 pounds. Unpacking was fairly simple and straightforward. It looks very similar to, and people do say that it is the exact same one as the Delta dual bevel sliding saw, but for $125 less. So setup was pretty simple. You really just have to install the supporting extensions. Assembly is pretty easy, so there's a little stops there to hold the supports in. You put the undermounting piece on and you just screw it on with a thumb screw. That's about it. So this does have a saw headlock for transportation. It has a handle to help you with that transportation. Remember, it's 53 pounds, so you're going to need a good way to move it. Here is the dust collection if you need to install it to a system. And then you got the standard bag, which is a little bit of a pain, and I'll explain later in the video. There's your position lock. They have a baseboard setting and then just a standard slide lock setting. I really like how that slides. Of course, the shadow line cut. The tool here came out of the box perfectly calibrated. Perfect cuts. It was really impressive. Adjusting it from for a miter cut is pretty easy. It's got standard stops on it for standard cuts. And as you can see, this is a 45 cut, which you measure, and again, it came out perfect out of the box, so no calibration needed. I tried it with a heavy 12-inch board, and it cut through it literally like butter.
So there you have it, unboxing, quick assembly, and a few quick shots of it in process. So this 10-inch sliding compound miter saw, it's R4241. It was purchased from Home Depot myself, so it was not provided. You can't get it in store. I don't know if you can get it at any other retailers. The average retail price is this when I paid for it. I don't know what it's going to be later. So let's go with the pros and cons. So the pros, the arms on this versus the shafts that they use to slide the radio for other miter saws is so much better. You can actually put it up almost flush against the wall. You don't have to have all that extra backspace. It moves really smooth. It doesn't sway a lot, any more than any of the others that have the radio arm like that. The shadow cut guide, that is a game changer. That makes it so you can have such precise cuts. Laser's okay, but if you're going to buy a new miter saw, the shadow cut line is, I would say, game changer. Then finally, the reach on this thing, it's a 10-inch blade, but I was able to cut over 12 inches of an inch and a half, almost 2 inches thick piece of wood. Love it. So those are the quick pros that come to mind. The cons, dust collection is really to be desired. This little bag on the back here, it collects the dust, not a whole lot, and when it does, when you pull it off, it actually falls out right back into the machine, so I wasn't real happy about that. The other thing that I'm not super thrilled about is why it is a dual bevel. You can go both ways from 0 to 45. There are no stops in between like you would on the miter aspect. So when you go from 45 to back to 0, you're going to have to recalibrate it, and not a super fan of that. It just doesn't have a stop at the end, so that's something you're gonna have to deal with. That I'll deal with it. I don't know how many bevels I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing a lot more miter cuts than bevel. So that's it. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment. I'll answer all of them I can. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and thanks for watching.